Eyes by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear, clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and you can see that I am wearing my Oklahoma State stuff today. Breaking news for you. I mean, pretty much everyone knows I was on my Facebook. That's why I was a little late today. I was on my Facebook, and people were, commenting about my story. Oklahoma State fired Coach Mike Boynton after 7 years, compiling 109 record, going 51-75 in the Big 12 with one NCAA appearance with Cade Cunningham, which, a matter of fact, that we got put on probation the next year, which cost us dearly with some main recruits. And I believe that was the downfall of Oklahoma State basketball with Mike Boynton at that point. Even though I really liked him, it was time to make a change. Now my thing is you go out and you hire a coach with some experience. And by the way, if you want to comment or anything on what we're doing, please go ahead. You can go to YouTube. You can search The Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark. Like, subscribe, hit notifications, and right here you can ask questions and I can answer them. Or, if there's any comments you want to make on what we're talking about here today, you can do that. But I can see them right away, because if you're doing it on my Facebook, I really can't see it. I can't go to Facebook while I'm live and do it because it's just the reverb and everything like that. So it kind of messes me up a little bit. So, but anyway, search The Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark. Like, subscribe, hit notifications, and then we'll be doing a Thunder show, not tonight because the game's at 9 o'clock. So, but after the Thunder games, we do this thing called After the Storm, which is the Oklahoma City Thunder post-game analysis, where we actually tell the truth about what's going on instead of them just telling you whatever and letting you believe the nonsense that they're spilling out there. And then if not, you can go to mcsportsnetwork.com and do that as well. So that being said, I really like Coach B a lot. It has been coming, like I had talked about earlier. This, God, was it 3 weeks ago, a month ago, whatever it was. We had the basketball reunion, and we went to it, and it was just there was this. I don't know what you want to call it, but there was this cloud. That's the best way I can put it over it. It didn't go well. Doug Gottlieb got up there and was talking, and I've said many times, we were all like, what the hell are you doing up here? Sit your ass down. Nobody wants to hear you. Nobody wanted to listen to him. And it's like, sit your ass down. We don't care about what you got to say. And, I've talked to a couple people. I'm not going to mention their names, but they are sports people here in Oklahoma City. And they're like, Gottlieb this. And I said, man, and I told one of them, I said, if you talk about Doug Gottlieb being the basketball coach at Oklahoma State, once again, don't ever talk to me again. You clearly do not understand sports or basketball for sure. If you think that he is going to be a great coach, you're out of your damn mind. He did make it on radio. He was on, because of, his connections. That's irrelevant. He can't coach. And then on top of that, why the hell would you want a coach that people backed off of and dared him to shoot? So, no. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean just because you weren't a good basketball player that you wouldn't be a good coach. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you knew what your deficiencies were and you didn't fix it. If you know you can't shoot, then you should be in the gym shooting 500 to 1,000 shots a day, making 500 to 1,000 shots a day. That's how you get better. You get better by doing it. Now, assist-wise and understanding what he's supposed to be doing, yes. But nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. I just said to you, few little Oklahoma media people that like him, and he's talking to y'all and y'all are trying to promote him. You're all effing idiots. All of y'all. If you think he is going to be the guy. Now, On top of that, you had a coach in Underwood. You didn't keep him. You hadn't had winning You hadn't had sellouts in what 7 years. You get the guy. You have 2 or 3 in 1 year. You go from a school that had a waiting list of 12 to 13 years for season tickets to none because of your athletic director that you hired, that took over. And then once he got rid of Eddie, once he got rid of Sean, then you hired him, and then it went downhill from there. This is a guy who you hired that got mad at me because I made a comment because it was at the point where he should have been fired and they hired him and re-signed him for a couple more years after that. And you take out our Big 12 championship trophy. Excuse me, Big 8 championship trophy. Really? You hadn't won a championship in 18 years. We win it. You don't win another for 18 years, but you're going to take ours out? Completely just get rid of a whole generation of players, a whole segment. Hadn't had winning seasons in 18 years before I got there. Had 4 years. Every year I played, we had a winning season. Every year. The 1 year I was hurt, they did not win. We did not win. But the 4 years that I started, we won every year. We had a winning season. And at the end of that, we won the Big 8 championship tournament. So I don't want to hear the nonsense, okay, about that dude. Then you hire a coach, Underwood. He comes in, changes everything around. You're winning. He's bringing in people. And then you don't pay him. And you laugh at him when he says, look, this is a contract I have. These people want to hire me. Oklahoma State is not a stepping stone. And for you people to put it in a stepping stone situation, you're all effing idiots. I don't care what radio station you're on. I don't care how many followers you got. I don't care about you. You're an effing idiot. Oklahoma says, as I say, Oklahoma is a state to where, hey, Devin Patel, how you doing, man? Said hi to me. You're an idiot. Oklahoma is a football state. It understands the game of football. It does not understand basketball. That's why the Thunder are trying to get away with the stuff they get away with, because you don't understand it. They're not getting away with it, me. I see that's why I call the Thunder out on a regular basis on this show. I call the Thunder out on a regular basis on my After the Storm, After the Thunder show. Our post-game analysis of that. Call them out there. I'm not letting you get away with that nonsense you're doing. I'm calling you out. And guess what happens? Anytime after a week after I start being on them, they change whatever it is that they were doing, because I'm calling them out and people are asking about it. Thank you all for watching and subscribing and all that, and then commenting about what I'm talking about, because I'm telling you the truth. Now, when it comes to baseball, whatever Jim Traber says, he is ridiculously knowledgeable about baseball, and I listen to him. Football, he was a quarterback, so, kind of whatever. He was an okay quarterback. But baseball, great baseball player. I listen to him in that. When it comes to basketball, I don't listen to anything he says. He's full of shit. And I like Jim a lot, but he has no clue. He has an opinion of a person who doesn't play, who didn't play, who doesn't understand the intricacies of the game, and he says nonsense. Now, there are times he does say some good things, I will say that, but if he thinks that Gottlieb is going to be a coach, he has no clue about basketball. And if you think Gottlieb is going to be a good basketball coach, you have no concept about basketball. This is a guy who didn't make it in any other media. Nobody likes him outside of the people that he's talking to. He got up at the basketball reunion. We were all like, seriously, going, what the hell is this dude? Sit your ass down. We don't want to listen to you. Sit your ass down. He's not popular with us. You made the mistake of hiring a guy, even though I love Coach Boynton. I loved his personality. I loved what he bring. I loved him at the microphone. I loved him with his play. I loved everything about him. But he had zero experience. Okay? Zero experience. That's my problem. Zero experience. David, thoughts on OKC sitting on a bunch of first rounders. I'll talk to you about that when we get to the Thunder. We're going to be on Oklahoma State right now. But I do have an opinion on that, by the way, David. This is David. He's commenting on my YouTube page. Like I said, go to YouTube, and then you can hit your questions or anything else, and I'll comment about them. But I'm just saying is that you had a chance. You hired this guy. I loved him, but he had no experience. And you could just see in the little things and the decisions that he would make as a coach, you're just like I can't tell you the number of times the commander, Randy Wright now of YNB, we were sitting in the stands at the games going, what in the world is he doing? Or we're talking on the phone or texting back and forth and going, what is he doing? Now, Randy goes to all the Big 12 games, and he's in Kansas City right now watching the Big 12. So he's watched them way more than I do. He goes to way more games than I do. But, it was just so frustrating for him and me about what we see as players. We're like, what are you doing? And it's simply the experience and the lack of knowing what to do, when to do it, and get situations where you do it so much. It's kind of like what the Thunder are doing with J-Dub. letting him shoot at the end of quarters so he can gain the experience instead of giving it to one of the best closers in the league. Talking about SGA, of course. So that's where you're at Oklahoma State. You have a chance to do something here. Go hire a guy like an Underwood who is at, where was he at, Lamar or wherever he was at. Go hire a guy who is young and upcoming. You can do, we're in the Big 12. The Big 12 is the toughest basketball conference in the United States. Okay? If not, it's definitely the world. So you got a chance to do something. You play against Kansas. You play against Texas Tech. You play against Houston. You play against K-State. You have all these programs. Go hire a guy who has experience as a coach who can recruit. Get rid of the guys that you have there. And I'm sorry, you got, our shooting coach, whatever you want to call him. I'm like, dude, you couldn't even, you can't score. I'm not going to bring up his name. I'm not going to come out here. But I'm just like, how the hell is this guy your shooting coach? How's this guy your drill coach? This guy can't get open. How the hell are you going to hire somebody who can't get open himself when he played? How is he going to teach anybody anything when he didn't know how to do it himself? Now, a shooter, yes, he was. But that's it. So if you're a shooting coach, yeah, teach me how to shoot. But other than that, dude, how are you going to teach me how to get open? How are you going to teach me to take somebody off the dribble? How are you going to teach me to do anything that you could not do yourself? Everything I do at the Matt Clark Academy, and I tell my kids this all the time, everything I teach at the Matt Clark Academy, I can do that I did. So I'm going to teach you what I did and how to do things. That's what I did. I was a scorer, and I could shoot, but I was a scorer. I made assists. I could play defense. I had steals and everything. So you can go look up my records and look at my stuff if that's what you want to do. But that's what you have to hire at Oklahoma State. You have to hire somebody who understands the game, who understands what they're doing, who understands how to make things happen, how to bring in a staff, how to, all those, I love Scott and I love those guys, but, Scott Sutton, I don't mind keeping him around because he could coach. And why you didn't hire him coming from ORU and the success he had there, I still don't understand that one either, even though I do because his last name is Sutton. But, some of these guys, please, come on. Scott could coach, yes. You got to get some guys who can coach. You got to get some guys who understand the game, who can recruit. You can't go out and hire another guy with no coaching experience. On my Facebook earlier, but that's why I was a little late coming on, this guy was saying hire Mark Jackson. I just laughed. I'll take Mark Jackson. He was an NBA coach. If you think an NBA coach who comes to high school, which is Kelvin Sampson, he coached in the NBA, which is a lot of his success there at Houston. Now, he was a great recruiter at OU, no question. But it also helps that, he was in the NBA, so he understands the NBA game. He knows coaches. He understands what the life is like. So he can help kids understand the transition from college to pros. So that's an advantage. So, yeah, Mark Jackson would be a great addition. Now he'd have to go out and hire college coaches who have insight to what's going on in the AAU circuit and MAYB and stuff like that, and the Nike and Adidas tours. Got to do that without question. And the thing is that, Oklahoma State had 2 McDonald All-Americans. You should be able to win with 2 McDonald All-Americans, shouldn't you? Now, everybody talks about NIL, and that's cool, and that's great. But I'm going to tell you what wins. You look at Kentucky. They're one-and-dones every year. One-and-dones. How many championships have they won? And I love Coach Cal. They won 1. It's the teams that build the guys who've been there 2 or 3 or 4 years that have been there a while. Those are teams that consistently win. That's what you have to hire. That's what you have to do. If you want to be successful, that's where it's at. So go get me a coach who has some experience, who understands talent, who can go out and get me a couple recruiters who know how to go out and recruit. You increase your NIL budget, but you got 2 McDonald All-Americans sitting right there. You can do it. Oklahoma State is a prime location to do what they need to do. Okay? You're in the Big 12. You have a great facility. You're constantly putting money into it with everything that's now coming up with the new practice facilities and all that. It's beautiful. Gallagher Iba was one of the premier places in the country. And when it's rocking, it is the number 1 loudest gym in the NCAA. Number 1. Just like Paycom is for the NBA. Number 1, loudest. And when Gallagher Iba is rocking, you come out there with your ears ringing. It's rocking. So let's do that again. I don't want to see no Doug Gottlieb and no none of this nonsense. Don't be second class, Oklahoma State. Don't be second tier. Go back to being first tier when you went out and you hired an Eddie Sutton. And then look what happened. Go out and make the same kind of splash. Go get a guy who has experience, who has cachet, who can hire assistants, who can go recruit. Go put some money into the NIL budget, and you can be back on top really easily. But you've got a good foundation. Boynton is a fantastic recruiter. I wouldn't mind keeping him on as a recruiter. The guy can recruit. You recruited Cade Cunningham, who ended up being the number 1 overall pick, and he's killing people right now in the NBA. Great player. Love watching Cade. I'm glad he didn't stay past because he'd have broke mine and Marcus Smart's single game record for scoring as a sophomore. Glad he left because he would have broke that record, I'm sure. But anyway, that being said, Oklahoma State, don't be second class. Understand what it takes to go to the next level. Understand what you got to do to put us back to where we used to be, where the facility is full, where there's a waiting list on season tickets. Because of what you did to people who had been, I know season ticket holders who had been there for 30, 40 years. You ran all them off. How do you run off season ticket holders for 40 years, 30 years? How the hell do you do that? Incompetence. That's how you do it. Incompetence. That's how you do it. You don't run off people who have been there for 40 years. Those are people that you keep. Hey, what can we do better? Why are you upset? How can we fix it? How can we make it better for you? That's what you do. Customer service. But don't go hire some guy because you have a few idiots on radio or whatever, or sports people. I'm not saying certain people. I'm not calling any one particular person an idiot. But what I'm saying is you got these people out here talking about basketball who don't have no clue. You're an idiot when it comes to basketball. If you think Doug Gottlieb is the guy, you have no clue about basketball whatsoever if that's what you think. Because if you did understand basketball, those words would not come out of your mouth. It's just like they said, hire Desmond Mason as assistant. Why? Desmond's a painter. What the hell does Desmond know who the players are? Desmond don't know that. Doug Gottlieb is a radio guy who was unsuccessful on radio. And you're going to hire the guy who can't be on a national deal and been to how many different things, keep going to place to place to place, and then all of a sudden he can't make it, now he's going to come be a coach at Oklahoma State? No. We've already been through the guy who didn't have any experience. And then you're going to hire another guy with no experience? So you're going to go through another 7 years, so you're going to be 14 years of irrelevance because you didn't make the hire that you're supposed to make the hire in the first place? When the one time you did do that with Eddie Sutton, with his son Sean Sutton, you skipped, you hired a guy, now he's at Illinois doing what he should be doing at Oklahoma State. That should be Oklahoma State right there. But no, it's Illinois ranked in the top 15 every year. So wanted to go into the NCAA tournament, not Oklahoma State. Why? Because of the guy you had in charge. Now, don't be second class, Oklahoma State. Understand what it takes to be successful. Because I can promise you, OU is not going to go hire somebody who doesn't have any experience. Which is the difference between a university that's a winner and one that's not. And that starts with the leadership as your athletic director and the president. And you look at them, they go hire guys who can coach. If you can't coach, we'll go find somebody else who's got some experience. Can you do it? You won't do it, you're gone. It's what they do. They don't sit around and give you extra time, and they don't do none of that. You come in and win, you're out. It's what they do. You have to do the same thing. You get your coach who understands the game, and then what do? You give them everything they need to make them successful. That's how you win. That's what the University of Oklahoma does. That's what Oklahoma State needs to do. You hire the best people. You come out, you think there's not Oklahoma State basketball people out here with money that would love to dip in, to give money to the NIL to hire, to get players? Hell yeah, they do it. But you give me the right guy and you start winning, yeah, they'll be more than happy to do that. You don't have a 12-year or 10-year waiting list of season tickets without people who have money, who are willing to spend money. Because they would. You don't think there's people willing to spend money to put in the NIL to make it better? Hell yes, it is. Off my soapbox now. Good luck to Coach Boynton and his family, by the way, of him getting another job and doing something different. But And like I said, I love Coach Boynton. I think he's amazing. I really, really do. And I hope that he does get a new job, and I'm sure he will. So now that being said, let's kick it on to the NBA and the Thunder tonight playing against the Mavs. I believe this game is on TNT too. I think they switched it to TNT. The Mavs 28 and 25, 28, 38 and 28. The Thunder 45 and 20. The Thunder are second right now in the overall standings in the West because the Denver Nuggets have gone 9-1 in their last 10 games. The Thunder are 7-3, giving away another game because of our coach's great knowledge of substitution and playing the people that he plays. He's just magnificent. That is just his strength. Unbelievable. And but anyway, tough game tonight. The Thunder are minus 10.5 point favorites. I don't see how the hell that is. 235.5 is the over under. I think 10 points is way too much. I'm a Thunder guy, but I'll take the Mavs if you're talking about 10.5 points. The Mavericks are coming off some wins, and when you look at the NBA standings right now, you can look. The Mavs are 1-4 in a row. They're 38, even though they're eighth. They're only 2.5 back from the fifth place position. The Thunder are 45 and 20, half a game back, and of course, if we win tonight, we'll be back and we will jump the Nuggets because we do have the tiebreaker with them, which we've discussed many times. And the reason why we have the tiebreaker because we went 3-1. Even though I say 2-1 because I don't count the last game because Jokic did not play. The first game they played here, I think it was fourth or fifth game, sixth game of the year, whatever, and they spanked us. And then we went up there and busted them on back-to-back games there in Denver with SGA hitting the game winner, to which the coach did not take the ball out of his hands. What a shock. And we won the game. And because normally he put the ball in J-Dub's hands. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's just ridiculous, me even saying that. But anyway, SGA made the shot in order to go up 2-1 against them. And then the game here, Jokic did not play. And it was 3-1. We took care of business here. So the Thunder loses our last game. Of course, we just lost to the Pacers because of his lineups. And I don't get the guy. I don't understand him. He's a great out-of-bounds player. He's a great developer of talent. But as far as coaching and making right decisions and lineups, that staff is lacking 100%. Because it's just like, to me, it's like, how does Gordon Hayward play 30 minutes? And I'm in the stands, and I've got people behind me just looking at me going, this guy behind me is just screaming, like, what the hell? Why is Gordon Hayward? I'm like, and he's sitting there screaming in my ear. I'm like, bro, don't scream in my ear. I'm like, I don't know. Don't ask me. I mean, you're sitting there screaming in my ear. I can't, I don't know what to tell you. I don't really have a comment about that. I mean, I don't think he should be. But, to me, I don't know how you play him, 30 minutes. I don't understand that. I don't really get it. I don't understand why he's there. I don't get it. I mean, how the hell are you not playing Isaiah Joe and starting that? How the hell are you not playing Cason Wallace, who had a fantastic game the other night? How are you not doing that? That was my point. But anyway, to get back on what we're staying on, the Mavs are 38 and 28. They're eighth. They've won 4 in a row. The Thunder have lost. And then when we look at what the Thunder are coming up right now, here's the Thunder's next 6 games, which are important because what you've got to understand is what we have coming and what we have to do, okay? Here's our next 6 games, our next 5 games, our last 5 games. We have the Mavs tonight. Then we go to the Grizzlies on Saturday. Then we have the Jazz Tuesday. Then we have the Raptors, at the Raptors, and at the Bucks. Those are the games coming up, okay? And the Mavs is on TNT tonight. I still have it here. It's on TNT. It's going to be a great game. But anyway, it's the late game, which means everybody will be watching. You get all the West Coast people on it. So, huge game for us. Luka and SGA are going to go at it. And remember the last time we played the Mavericks, they beat the brakes off of us in Dallas. So, the NBA is all about paybacks, and everybody who spanked us, we've come back and beat the brakes off them. So maybe that's why that 10.5 game thing is in there, is from that one simple fact, because they beat the brakes off of us, and paybacks are intent. So we shall see how that works. But anyway, we have the Mavs, and we have the Grizzlies, Jazz, and Raptors, and Bucks. So we have to go 4-1 at absolute worst. 5-0 is what we need to go. 4-1, 3-2. Right now, if you go 3-2, you're playing for second or third place. And the advantage that we have at this particular point is that Big Cat is hurt. Karl Anthony Towns is hurt. That's the advantage we have right now. The Thunder have as far as finishing second or third, or probably second because they're hurting right now and they have a tough schedule. So, that being said, Devin Patel, thoughts on Oklahoma City sitting on a bunch of first rounders. Here's my thought process on that, Devin. One, the Thunder have to use some of that. We had the trade deadline, we did not do it. Now, I've discussed this before on After the Storm, the Oklahoma City post-game analysis. So it's, remember, if go search After the Storm, OKC Thunder, and you can like, subscribe, notifications, and you can follow us on that. And I've said on this show as well. The Thunder had two options. They could go after somebody and trade for somebody, but you remember, we're young. We're the youngest playing. We have the youngest team that's in the league right now with the kids who play, or players who play the most amount of minutes at their age. SGA is our senior statesman, I think, at 25, that plays. Everybody else is really younger. So that's where we're at when it comes to that. So you have a very good team. We're very young, but we're lacking one specific thing, an inside presence. Now, you go out and get Biyombo, and that's fine, but that's not what we need. We need some bigger presence because Chet is just not strong enough yet. He's still probably 2 years away, maybe, of being able to put on any kind of strength. Not necessarily weight, just being stronger. He's just got to get stronger. He's not. I don't think he has the body type of frame to, because everybody compares him to Giannis. Like, oh, he doesn't have the same body type as Giannis. I see him just get stronger, kind of like a Porzingis. Just get stronger, because you can see Porzingis, he's gotten stronger as he's gotten older. So to me, get Chet stronger, not necessarily bigger, just stronger. Okay, just give me a stronger Chet. That's what I ask for. That's what I'd like to see. But you got to have inside presence. Now, playing, so, you have that option, and like you have, what do we have, 14, 16, 18, whatever picks we have over the next 6 years. Now, we're going to end up losing the Jazz's pick because the Jazz are on purpose losing because they want to make sure they get their first round pick. So they are tanking. Now, we had a chance to get Lauri Markkanen, and they completely just 86 that deal. Okay. And like I said, I had mixed feelings with that because they wanted Cason Wallace. We're not giving up Cason. Why would we give up Cason Wallace, a promising young rookie, for a guy that we're going to have for 2 years and then have to re-sign him? Why would we do that? That makes no sense. So I agree with Sam Presti there, even though if you're trying to win now, it would have been a great statement for Oklahoma City Thunder to have him on this team. Because if you got him and Chet and J. Will and J. Dub and Cason and Isaiah Joe and Wiggins and Dort and, of course, the MVP SGA, then you're going to be in it. But Denver is on a roll right now. They are just rolling, and they are playing the players that they understand what's up. They want the number one overall seed. Why? They want home court advantage. And on top of that, if the Lakers do finish eighth by some miraculous deal, they can't beat the Nuggets. But if we're number one and they're number 8, we're out. We're done. We're one and done. Okay. So anyway, David, to answer your question, I just think sitting on a bunch of picks is great, but at some point you got to decide when you're trying to win. And clearly, the Athletic had made a comment about Chet and SGA were ready to win, but the rest of the Thunder players and the coaching staff and administration weren't. So to me, that's what it seems like, that they are not ready to win because they are not making the moves in order to make that happen. That's just what I see. But then again, who are you going to go out and get? If you're a young team, you got to go out and get a young player. And you got tons of draft picks to give up to get a young player. But then again, remember, you have to sign J-Dub and Chet and Josh. Then in 2 years, you got to turn around and you got to re-sign SGA. Okay? Not to mention, you still got to re-sign. You can re-sign Isaiah Joe for not a lot or whatever. And, these guys are coming up, J. Will. But SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Josh, you got to pay them. And now, remember, to me, I thought when you got Gordon Hayward, you got Gordon Hayward for one specific reason. You got Gordon Hayward because you wanted the money. You wanted the money to take Gordon Hayward because that gives you, 94, 95 million next year to sign to sign J-Dub and Chet and Josh. So that gives you the money to do that if you choose to do it that way. Or you can wait another year if you want to, but I think you go ahead. This is their second year going into their third year. Now you can wait till third year. This past summer will be their coming up to their third year. So you can wait to the following year and sign those guys up and go from their third year going into their fourth year, and then the next year would be SGA's going into his fifth year, so you can wait and sign them there. But I say you go ahead and you sign them early, you lock them in, boom, it's going to be cheaper to do it now than it would be then. And then on top of that, the other option is you can wait and not sign them and see how they really develop after one more year. But J-Dub's growth has been like this from year one to year two. Chet has really blossomed this year. So you know he's only going to continue to go up. I don't know what his ceiling is. And then we've just seen SGA just get better and better and better because this is going to be a second first team All NBA, which he should get. And then he's going to be first team All NBA defense, which he should get. And then Jokic has been a fantastic center this year, MVP and all that. But I don't think the Thunder want to help SGA get in the MVP because they don't play him like they should. And like I said, this coach, I love his out of bounds calls. Coach Dagnon, I'll just call his name. I love his out of bounds calls. I love his ability to build up players. But the problem is we're built up now. Okay? We're built up now. We know how to play now. So instead of building us up, how about give me some players? How about understanding and playing your best player and putting the ball in his hands at the end of every damn quarter that he's in there like you're supposed to instead of putting it into your number two player's hands? Alert, J-Dub is not better than SGA. I know the Thunder staff, the guy was telling me, he's like, yeah, man, I talked to them and, J-Dub. I said, I don't give a shit what you see every day in practice. He ain't him. He doesn't have the handles. He has the athletic ability, without question. He's way more athletic than him. There's no doubt. But what have you seen lately? SGA is dunking the ball more than I've ever seen in the last month. He's dunked the ball more than I've seen him, in 3 years. I'm like, why is he dunking all the time now? Very rarely would you see him dunk. Now he gets a chance, he goes and he's dunking the ball. I'm like, okay, you trying to show us that you can dunk too? Okay, what you doing? And that's because of what J-Dub does. So I see that, like I tell you, what the Thunder are doing is they're creating chaos and creating drama in the locker room. That's what they're doing because of their choices. You're forcing players to pick J-Dub, SGA. Because I'm just going to say it like this. People talking about I'm crazy. I said, okay, then go back and look at the film the other night. It's end of the third quarter. It's 20 seconds left, 15 seconds left. SGA is down there ready to get the ball. They bring J-Dub in, and they put SGA down on the end and give the ball to J-Dub to bring it up and shoot the last shot of the quarter. What does that say? You took the ball out of your all-NBA first-team player's hands, MVP candidate, and you put it into the hands of the guy you think is the best player to give him experience. That's what you're doing. So y'all can call me crazy. Pay attention for yourself. Watch for yourself. Then you make the decision. Whose ball would you rather have the hands in, SGA's or J-Dub's? Now, you're going to say SGA, and we always say that. But look at what the coach is doing. Look at what the organization is doing. The NBA says, Oklahoma City, SGA and Chet. The Thunder say, you listen to Bally. Look, J-Dub and Chet. That's the combination. No, it's SGA and Chet, then J-Dub. So it's SGA, Chet, J-Dub. The Thunder is J-Dub, Chet. That's it. And it's so funny is now they're putting up stats that we talk about on the show and have been talking about. All of a sudden here on Bali, they put it up on Bali. Somebody will come, hey, man, I see where Bali's putting up your stats. I'm like, what? Because I don't watch it. They're like, yeah, man, they're putting up the stuff that you've been talking about on the show. Oh, they do? Oh, okay. It's funny. Because why? Because what I'm telling you is the truth. What I'm explaining to you, what I'm showing to you, what I'm giving the information to you is what's happening. The Thunder don't promote their best player. Put it like this. SGA and what he's about to accomplish. There's only been two other players that do it. That is Michael Jordan and Steph. They both were MVP years when they did it. He just broke KD's record for 48 games, scoring 30 points. Now, KD did it twice, scoring 30 points, 47 games 2 times. The first time he did it, he did not get MVP. The second time he did it, he did win the league MVP. Okay? So SGA is not about now. Jokic is just killing everybody. But once again, if the Thunder beat the Nuggets, how the hell do you give Jokic the MVP when we have beat them head to head? And SGA has done the numbers, and we have gone far. Everybody expected Denver to be where they were. So how are you going to give the MVP to a guy who was expected to be where he is versus a guy who didn't on a team that wasn't expected to be? We were supposed to win 44 wins. We have what do we have now? 45? So we've already passed where we're supposed to be. So if we win the game, we win the league, which hopefully I don't know, I don't think we will, but if you do, because I don't think this coach is going to play the right lineups, and he's not going to put us in position to win. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Well, I'm going to take a quick break, then we're going to come back and we're going to look at the NBA scores for yesterday and today. Go back and look again at the NBA standings, and go from there. I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have engineering, surveying, or planning needs, they love to be behind the scenes. So if you're building a new complex or you're buying one and want to remodel it or redo it, they can come in and check and make sure everything is set up so there won't be any flooding or anything like this. So hit my guy Mark Long up over at SRB. Collaborative Logic, if you have needs for computers, software, website design, those are the people, or networks, those are the people to call. Call my guy Russell Williford. They love to come in and do your network or set you up a new network. And like I said, the thing that I love about them, if nothing's wrong with your computer mechanically, they can go ahead and remote in, don't have to come in and disrupt your office and fix whatever it has. And they do that to me all the time. I love it whenever something's going wrong. I can just call them up, boom, they remote in and fix whatever's needed on my computer. So I love to them. So hit those guys up. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand, hit my guy Jose Fierro at Oak Grove Trucking. He is the dude to talk to over there if you have dirt, rock, or sand. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. So please contact them for that, and you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into their main location at 401 Elm downtown Yukon and see my guy Nathan Taylor or the Horn Man Joe Horn, Carson Wright. You can see any of those guys. They love to take care of you. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 at 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, located 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right in front of the hospital. You can't miss it. YNB Peoples, which is located in Bethany on 23rd Street between Rockwell and MacArthur on the north side. You cannot miss it. And, of course, our latest sponsor, Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency, located 4609 Southeast 29th in Dale City, Oklahoma. You can call them at 405-670-2424. And they're open 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday. So today they're open till 5. Tomorrow they will only be open till 1. So they'll be open from 9 a.m. to 1 on Fridays. Closed Saturdays and Sundays. Proudly serving the Middale area since 1982. Those are the people to talk to. Now, in NBA scores yesterday, here are the scores and the ones that affected us. Of course, the Pacers beat us yesterday, or excuse me, was that yesterday? Was that Tuesday? It was Tuesday, wasn't it? Was that Tuesday? That was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. I don't know what I'm thinking. In the Thunder game, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. My days are all off. The Thunder, do play tonight. So we lost. It was Tuesday night that we got beat. I don't know why this is all messed up. But anyway, we got beat Tuesday night. Of course, the Timberwolves beat the Pacers. These are all old. These were not yesterday. And then, of course, the games today. Here are the games today. The Suns and the Celtics. That's going to be a great game for them. For seeding, the Celtics will probably win, even though they're on cruise control right now. The Clippers will beat up on the Bulls, depending on if Kawhi's back is hurt or not hurt. Then, of course, the big game is tonight is the Mavs versus us. And then the 76ers and Bucks have nothing to do with us. Knicks, Trailblazers have nothing to do with us. Wizards, Rockets. So the big games tonight really are that affect the Thunder are the Suns and the Celtics at 6:30. The Clippers and the Bulls at 7, and then, of course, the Mavericks and the Thunder. So those are the games that are really going to affect what we do, because when you look at the NBA standings, you can see the Suns are sitting at 7th, and so you can see right there. And then when you look at the Clippers, they're at 4th, and they are only three and a half games behind us, so we've got to make sure that we take care of business right there. But we have to win tonight, and if we do, we're 46-20, and then we're back above the Nuggets. Even though we're tied with them, we will be in first place because we do have the tiebreaker with them. Like I said, we beat them 3 out of 4 times, really 2 out of 3. I don't really count the game that we won when we were. I don't really count that game. I mean, I don't count it. But anyway, the T-Wolves are running in there. They play tomorrow, so we've got a chance to really make a statement here and make a move. So we really, really need to do something. And then the Suns, like I said, is a team that scare me, and they're in third place right now. Because you look at the play-in. The play-in would be the Suns and the Mavs. So the Suns would be at home hosting the Mavericks, and then you have the Lakers hosting the Warriors, and then the winner of that plays the loser of the Suns Mavs for the 8th spot. And right now, the Lakers don't want anything to do with the Nuggets because they can't beat them. And I don't think the Mavs can. Well, the Mavs may be able to beat them because I don't know. Depending if Luka and Kyrie are firing on all cylinders, they are a tough team to beat. So we'd have to see about that. But anyway, when you look at the teams and you look at the scheduling, what can happen, that's where we're sitting at right now in the overall standing. So we've got to take care of business tonight. And like I said, we do have a tough stretch. And once again, when you look at our next 6 games, we play at the Mavs, and then we have the Mavs at home tonight. Then we play at the Grizzlies Saturday, which is a huge game. And then, of course, the Jazz at home, which I think the Jazz are trying to lose. So I don't think that's really going to affect us that much. But you can see at that next schedule what's going on. The Nuggets have a better advantage than we do, but we do have the 7th easiest schedule. But remember, we have that gauntlet to where we have to play at the Knicks, at the Sixers, at the Celtics, at the Pacers. And we played the Sixers and Celtics on back-to-back nights. So that's going to be a crazy schedule. Then, of course, we end with the Hornets, the Kings, the Spurs, the Bucks, and the Mavs. So we should be able to do quite well in those last 7 games, 6 games, 7 games. We should be able to handle our business, go 6-1, 5-2 at worst. But when you look at what the Thunder have to do, that's what's coming up with us and what we're trying to do. So that's kind of where we are. That's what all I've got for today. I'm just, like I said, at the beginning of the show, I'm upset. I'm torn because I really like Coach Boynton a lot. I'm sad for his family, but Oklahoma State needed to move on and do something. So let's hope that the administration does what they need to do to move on and do what hire the right person to come on board. That's just kind of how I look at it, and I believe that we will hire the right person with experience because we are in the Big 12. We're not in some little conference. You've got the coaches like Bill Self, people like that. You got to hire somebody with some experience. You already tried the one where you didn't hire somebody because of our old athletic director and what he did, just destroying basketball. He completely destroyed basketball. He really did. He just did with the hires that he did, going from Travis to then he hired the right guy, got rid of him, and then hiring Boynton and then giving an extension. He just tore basketball down. He really did. He destroyed it. Now, the point is that the NCAA had a big, huge thing because Boynton did have Cade, and we did make a run, and then we did have some guys coming in, and by the NCAA putting us on probation for actually in their letter saying that, you didn't do anything wrong. Wait a minute. So we hired a guy who we got zero benefit of, but you're putting us on probation for a year with no postseason experience, no postseason play because we hired a guy who we got zero from, no money, no kids, no nothing, didn't benefit one bit, and you're putting us on probation anyway. Really? But then North Carolina cheats, has scandals wherever, and nothing happens. The NCAA. What a great program. What a great existence. What a great people that they are. That being said, I hope everybody goes to the Thunder game tonight. It's going to be packed. The game, remember, is at 9 o'clock tonight at Paycom. So hopefully I'll see everybody tonight. Let's pack it out and let's get loud for our Thunder and let's do what we need to do. That being said, everybody have a fantastic day.